Brenda, can you hear me? You're muted.
Can you hear us?
I can.
Hi, Chuck.
Get Richard on here.
I got my first line.
And he can see your screen fine, too.
Oh, good.
Now, you don't need to see him, right?
Not
Or can
necessarily. Nah, I mean, if he wants to, that's fine.
Is it on right now? Can you see us?
I can see you, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to be that close.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. You can hear us okay, Bruce?
Yes,
Right,
thank you.
Where do I click now?
Nowhere. He's in control.
Oh, can you see me now, Chuck?
I can.
Okay,
This is the news.
that's it. All right, I can't see all the participants. Oh, right there. All right, there we go.
There's only three of us.
You can see me.
What happened? Oh, because you had that thing up there. All right. Good evening. How you guys doing? All right.
Very well.
All right.
That's good. I like the videos, Chuck. What do you think?
Yeah, the ones that Claire sent, sure. Yeah.
Joe
Joe
knows.
knows. There, Joe knows checking in. Hi, Joe.
Hey, you guys
Bruce,
doing?
you'll have to thank Claire for what a fine job she did. Hi, Joe.
Good evening. There we are.
Yeah, it's 5:26. We got 27. We have 3 more minutes to see who else checks in. How was school today, Mr. Knoll?
No school today for the kids.
Oh, is that right? Why not?
Yeah, we just went Monday, Tuesday this week.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
getting ready for Christmas and all.
Good. What's the
Is there
help?
any?
Go
What's
ahead.
that, Chuck?
I was going to ask Mr. Knoll if there's any significant health news coming out of any of the schools this week, good or bad.
Well, we made it through to Christmas, so
There you go. Well,
that's the good part. Yeah, we had a rough time at the high school last couple of weeks, but our middle school and elementary school really did well. So
good.
we're holding on. It's we're getting some spread, like in our athletics. We had a bowler that was positive and competed a couple of days ago. So it's tough. It's hard. But right.
Yeah.
That's the part that gets you. Got to shut down. And the High School Athletic Association still recommended a 14-day quarantine.
Right.
Versus the 10 days that we're using for kids to come to school. So we're taking that recommendation, obviously, but that makes it harder because now you got 2 different time frames and just more confusing.
Are teachers a identified group for prioritization of the vaccine?
Well, they're quoted as an essential worker, but we haven't been told that we're going to be, treated up there as doctors and nurses and all that, nor should we. I mean, I understand that piece of it, but we're hoping we're somewhere in that top tier. So
yeah, I think we would all hope that. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't been given, the health department hasn't given us that little caveat yet. So
Yeah. Okay.
we'll just keep holding on.
Yeah. We got another 2 minutes according to my clock here. So, how about you, Bruce? Everything all right?
Yeah, we're still pretty much no work because we're in the event, and meeting business. So since there's no events or meetings, my crew has been on unemployment since really March. It's been crazy.
How many employees do you have, Bruce?
We just have 5.
5 months.
Yeah.
That's quite a few to be unemployed for that length of time.
Yep.
Did you participate in that Paycheck Protection Program or whatever it was called?
Yes, we did. Yeah. And I'm really thankful that Ohio has a pretty decent unemployment program. I've got a lot of friends that are in Florida, and that state is very tough to get unemployment. So I don't know how the people are getting through down there.
Wow. I didn't know that. Huh. Oh, well. All right, my clock just flipped 5:30. If late arrivals join us, they will. Can everybody see the agenda I have on the screen? I'm trying to.
Yeah, that's a little better.
Okay. I will ask Mayor Duffett to provide whatever welcome comments he would like to make.
I'd like to thank everybody for joining us this evening. I know everybody's busy getting ready for Christmas, but we felt it's imperative to meet before the holidays just because we are getting close to launching everything. And so I'm just appreciative of all of you. So that's all I have.
Okay, good. Mr. Knoll, I appreciate your education committee report, and I wonder if you could just summarize the salient points for the four of us here, please.
Sure will. Yeah, we met last Friday, the 18th at 1 o'clock. Mr. Governor, Mr. Kay, Chief Hutchinson, and myself were present. We spent the first 5 or 10 minutes kind of discussing the SWOT analysis that we had put together, just to kind of highlight some of the major talking points there. But we spent the majority of our time trying to come up with the whole concept of what's our next step. We launched out the mask wearing. We thought we did a good job with that, but sticking with your idea, one plan, how to execute and get a W out of this thing is where we landed. So had a lot of good discussion. Basically where we ended up is we think there's some merit to creating this this dashboard of information, having one central location where everybody in Canfield could go to get the latest. So Mr. K came up with Defend Canfield as kind of the big umbrella, kind of start with that. And then we looked at different data points and what that would look like, websites and information from the CDC, the Ohio Department of Health, Mahoning County Public Health, which Ryan obviously is a big part of that. Looking at information from the school, how we're doing with positive cases, quarantines. Chief Hutch has great information on transport data with the fire department. He can break it down by age, how many per month. That brings it home. Hearing the governor talks good, but when you talk about Canfield and we've got X number of transports here and there, that's hitting home with people. We have a lot of conversation about COVID testing sites. A lot of folks in Canfield don't know where to go. And we thought it had some merit to put those sites on the website or on that dashboard so people could get to them. We did that for school, for example, for our parents that didn't have an idea. And then vaccination data. This is the next big mitigating factor coming out, the importance of it. Maybe some professionals talking about it, whether it's video, the public service announcements that you put out today. Were very cool. Get those online as well. You've got the chief talking, one of my employees, Renee English, on there, and then obviously the two of you, and then bringing it back home again to 44406 specific zip code data. And that's what I've been using, a lot of those talking points to help make decisions on school and how we're doing there. So our next action step is to forward all this to the communication committee to get their blessing on next steps. We already reached out to one of the members, Miss Julie, who's our PTA now. She's on that committee. Her and Renee have already talked a little bit about how we can get this dashboard kind of up and running using a website format. So,
all right, I was just going to ask you that. You believe that perhaps a website format might be the best way to, I agree with you. Like a web page hosted on other entities' websites or a separate standalone website?
Well, we would make the website basically, but it would be connected kind of through everybody's own personal website. So the thing that we create would just be like a holding area, basically, and then people would be able to connect to it. But a good example is the PTA website. If you had a second to go on there later, Canfield PTA, Julie and her friends put that together, and it's very well done. There's probably a startup cost there, it sounds like, because you got to have like a domain, those types of things. I don't think it's anything significant cost-wise, but to me, it's well worth, whatever dollars we need to do to put that together.
Well, yeah, well, I agree, and I'm just looking at the lifespan of this. What do we call dashboard? the lifespan of the dashboard hopefully will not be, very long, hopefully.
Yeah.
But, I'm just thinking ahead. The mayor, I think, can attest to our American Legion website, which I maintain is a pretty good website. Professional, looks professional, and there is no cost to it. It's a freely hosted. You just don't get a .com or a .org or a .edu domain. You're kind of a subdomain to whoever the hoster is. In our case, it's Weebly. I think there's a couple of them out there.
Yeah.
That might be something. There'd be no cost involved then, other than the design cost. And I know when I built the American Legion one, once you get the basic framework down, it's easy to maintain and easy to design.
Right.
I mean, if you you've given me the idea here of, and I like that, you're kind of working from the federal level on down to the local level. The CDC stats on the dashboard, Ohio Department of Health, county health, schools within the Canfield district, transport from the fire chiefs' statistics, COVID test sites, vaccine data. Those could all be buttons or pages on that dashboard that they could click on. And even if it doesn't take them to anything more than updated statistics, if you wanted reflected at that part of the dashboard. I mean, I'd be more than happy to, just based on what you described now, to prepare the front end on a free website and send it to the communications to everybody here, really, and let you know what it would look like. And if it's satisfactory, then we could just do that and bear no cost for standing it up.
Yep.
But if you think it'd be better to have something a little more, I don't know.
We just talked to Julie real quick, and she had mentioned to Renee that there was a small startup fee for her website. So
and I don't know who she's using. So I haven't looked at it. I will look at it though.
Yeah, I'm 100%. I know we have one for school, but that's a whole different ballgame.
Oh yeah,
parts for us, but
yeah.
But no, I asked everybody to kind of have me be the nexus of person receiving the information.
Okay.
And Ryan, and then we can push it out to whomever later on once things get up and running. So.
Okay, so you'd be the aggregator of the information, and then pass that on to the communications committee, and they would locate it on a website or a web page or however they decide they want to do it.
Whoever they deem to be the person to be the updater, basically.
Okay, I think it's a good idea. Yeah.
That was it.
Any comments, Bruce or Mayor?
Go ahead, Bruce. You got a comment?
Well, I was wondering, will we put the video on both? I know we'll put it on the city's website. Will we be able to put it, Joe, on the school website as well?
The public service, the PSAs and all that? Yeah. If we create this web page with the dashboard, we can connect that link right to our school district website as well. That's kind of the goal between the city, the township, me. I hope the health department would as well. So there's probably 4 or 5 entities that would be able to link right into that.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
But I don't think we want to. I shouldn't say that. Mayor, you had a comment. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was with this website. Would that be something that you could link it to, like the Canfield.gov website, because we have certain people that log in there, or do they have to go to yours at the school?
No, they would go right to like Canfield.gov, and there'd be a little link here. Click here for the latest COVID task force update, and then bam, you'd click on that, and up that page would come. Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
That'd be the goal. Yeah.
I think that's a great idea, and we could put that link anywhere. You could put it on the city's Facebook page. You could put it on. I mean, there's any number of anywhere you want to put the link. You could put the link. If you have the school system, I believe, has a. I'm trying to think of the term. An email blast, like in bad weather, you could blast out text or blast out emails.
Constant contact.
Yeah, you could put a link on. You could put a link on there too if you wanted to, and blast it out to whoever's on that distribution list. I mean, there's any number of ways you can. I like it. It's a good idea.
Right.
I like it.
I like that too. It sounds like a good idea. Now, the thing that I think we have to talk about is, do we want to, going for the one big thing, the one win, do we want to do the PSA in conjunction with the dashboard, or do we want to launch the PSA with, so far what we've seen? Has everybody seen the video, the PSA video?
Did you get see it, Joe?
Yeah, I saw
Okay.
that was sent out today. I thought they were very good. I mean, how they kind of went back and forth between Hutch and Renee. I mean, those are live case
Exactly.
studies.
Very powerful, yeah.
It doesn't get any better than that. So, Mayor, my thought, to be honest with you, is I'd fire those things out now. I'd go at it, and then we would just include those on our dashboard for down the road. But to me, that's the next. I'm a phase guy.
I agree.
Phase 1 was what we did. Phase 2 is get them PSAs out. I think phase 3 would be the dashboard, maybe after the new year, by the time we get things up and running. But I'd say go get them.
Me too, Joe. I agree with you 100%.
I agree. I agree, because you figure more people are going to be looking at the computer, and we could get it out during this risky time. This is a high-risk time over the holidays. So we are you ready for my report, Chuck?
Just about, as long as there's no more comments on Mr. Knoll's report. Okay, Mayor, you're up. Communication.
Okay. We did ours a little bit different. I talked to people on the communications committee one-on-one. We talked about the SWOT analysis, and I had good conversations about that. And we talked about all the different platforms that we want to roll out our message, and there's a ton of them. So far, the media, as far as PSAs go, or as far as in-person goes, Saturday morning talk shows are something that the ratings are pretty good, 27, 33, and 21. I'm not sure about 33 if they have one, but I usually watch 21 or 27. They're 2 hours, and they might be good to, I was thinking to do a little Army-Navy pitch, Chuck, and we'd go on there and do our little thing and how we're coming together. And so that might be a live thing. As far as the PSA goes for the chief, it looks like we would have to do that just as it came out in the film, so it wouldn't be just him. How does everybody feel about that, the way it came out, with having Renee and the chief there going back and forth? I thought it was well done. I just wanted to see what everybody else thought.
Yeah, I think it's clearly even more effective than just doing one beginning to end and the other beginning to end. The kind of the play back and forth, I thought was effective.
I did too. Anybody else?
I agree, but I'm prejudiced, so.
Yeah.
Right. Well, to get this on, and I'm thinking more bigger picture of, it's going to be easy to put it on Facebook. Going to be easy to put it on some different links, but getting it on TV as a regular primetime PSA announcement, I believe we got to have it 15 seconds or less. Claire was talking about that last night. I don't know, Bruce, any thoughts on that?
Well, it could be a 30, but the shorter it is, the easier it is to get the stations to play it for free, because they're looking, for things to play. But we didn't, and it was probably my fault. I didn't clue her into that we were really going for something that we could go with a soundbite. And it's hard, for what we have to be able to get something, but we can still try to get something. And I think that the fire chief and Renee were just excellent, and I don't know whether we can somehow just get maybe 2 comments back and forth from them to be a 15. I'll ask Claire and see what she thinks.
Okay.
I only listened to it one time, beginning to end, but 3 minutes, I think, 3:05. But I do believe, as you just mentioned, Bruce, there are some 15-second bites there that I think can probably be pulled out with a quick fade with the Canfield mask, like she had the setup inning. Fade that, show it faded out to 15 seconds, and then just something. I think there are some pretty good 15-second bites there that she could do.
Okay.
And then
you would ask her to try to piece together a couple of them, that would be nice. But we're not gonna wait for that to start pushing out the full version to as many places as we can.
Right.
Mayor?
Well, we could start posting that on Facebook tonight, couldn't we?
Absolutely. As long as Claire, I mean, Bruce, does Claire believe that to be a finished product the way it sits right now?
Well, the long version, yes.
Okay.
And if you guys do go on a talk show, that would be a nice thing to show, because they will, if they give you 10 minutes on a half-hour show, you know, that would be a nice segue to say, well, we made up this, you know, from our for communicating to our community. Can we show this 3-minute clip?
Yeah.
I'll take that for action, Bruce.
Okay.
I will call tomorrow if it's 3 or it's 2 TV stations and try to get us on there and bring the tape. And so that would be great if we could talk about our task force and then have this be our message. And they, you know, so I'll check into that.
All right. I may have her ask, because, you know, it used to be, you were correct. You went in with the tape. Nowadays, you email the media and they'll play it. So,
I got a Canfield classmate that works at 27 and he does all that stuff. So I'll give him a call, see what Claire will probably know too. But Tom Russo,
she has a lot of contacts at the stations.
So yeah, I know she knows Tom, but we could find out, because that would be nice to tee it up. Chuck, would you be available this Saturday morning?
Day after tomorrow, or this Saturday?
Yeah. If we could get, or if not this Saturday, next Saturday.
No, I don't want to wait another full week. What are they? 7 a.m. shows? 6 a.m.
I think one is 7 to 9, and the other one might be 6 to 8.
There are Sunday morning ones too, right?
Yeah, I'll be at work at Delphi on Sunday.
Yeah.
I won't be able to, but Saturday they fill 2 hours, and I was able, when we were promoting our Canfield golf outing and our church golf outing, it was easy to get on. We just sent them some information, and then they got us on. So, what would you?
I think I'd be a bit.
Okay, I'll know tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll know tomorrow. So, I mean, I may not be, because Friday is Christmas. So if I don't get an answer, then we'll assume it's not. And if we can't do any better, we'll try to go next Saturday, if at all possible. And the goal would be to tell about our task force, tell how we organize it, who's on it, and then tee up our video, and then just have them show the video. We won't have to give our message, and we'll let the video. I didn't see, Bruce, I didn't see Mr. Knoll's video. Is that coming, or is that part of that, or did I miss something?
No, we did. I don't think she got to that yet, or Ray's either.
Okay. All right.
So,
I think with the people that we had that did that, I think this is going to be very effective beyond the Canfield community, because there's some significant people here that the people know, and I think people listen to. I don't hear as much, and this is a sidebar, but it's pertinent to what we're doing. I now talk to people. If I see people that don't have a mask, I go up to them and I identify myself as the mayor, and I try to be nice, but I'm seeing less and less and less of this. Now, maybe that's the severity of the infection or all the vaccine. There's just more talk about it, but I see less. I haven't been able to get with Ryan to give me the data of from day one where we formed. I want a piece of that data to say, okay, here was what 44406 was doing it, and then where we're at now. I have to believe that it's down, but we need to get some momentum going, and the wind could get us some momentum, but also the downward thing. But one of the keys with the communication message, and this is the brain trust to think about this, is do we want to put out that we're decreasing the infection rate? Is that going to tend to have people think, oh, man, it's getting better. I'll blow off the mask today. Or I'll run into Giant Eagle and get it, or run into a hardware store because it's dropping off.
Well, I'll tell you my feeling on that is the data is the data. If the data says that it's decreasing, then why would you not? Everybody's saying you got to follow the data, follow the science. If the data is downward, I think you point that out and say it's going down because you're doing these things, you're taking these steps. I think you tell them. If the data says that, you tell them.
Okay.
At our last board meeting with our community, the health department meets with us on Wednesdays, and they said that, we're getting 200 new cases a day, which is not good, but it's not skyrocketing the other way. So that was my message, that, hey, we're doing some good things around here as parents and kids and staff members. 200 is still a lot, but we're doing things that we can control, within our realm of the school district. So I spoke to that too, because I'm a data guy, math guy. I say it like it is and let people, make their own judgments. But I give them the numbers.
And if there's a spike over the holidays and it starts going the other direction, we tell them that too. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
That sounds good. I just wanted to feel that out because there's a lot of different attitudes about this thing, and but we'll go with the data then on that. I saw, Chuck, that you brought up the recognition committee. Chief Pucci's email. He couldn't make it tonight. He had a wrestling engagement. Neither could Wade. But this is the output from his meeting with recognition efforts and what they've been doing, and it looks like it's some pretty good things.
Yeah, and we'll just go through it real quick here. And my apologies. I didn't notice that on his distribution he didn't send it to everybody on the SWAT committee. He just sent it to the mayor and me. So that was my bad. I'll make sure in the future you all get it. But so Hutch, the chief, Sergeant Wells, Frank McKea, and who else was there? And Judge
Rusu.
Yeah. They discussed the current recognition efforts being made by the PD and the fire district. Hutch suggested the committee begin to brainstorm ideas to promote vaccinations with the hope that residents take advantage of opportunities when available. He also mentioned that he's approached the union regarding the purchase of $5 gift cards that could be used as a reward. So in addition to perhaps handing out the masks we talked about, he's talking about $5 gift cards potentially too. Rusu suggested effort be made to highlight local businesses and the steps they're taking to prevent and reduce transmission among employees and protect customers. We could share that through traditional media along with social platforms. Maybe that's a button on our dashboard too, Joe. I don't know. That could be, yeah. And Frank McKea, who is a very, not an understated person, as we all know.
That's very, very good way you put that, Chuck.
He proposed flash awards that could be presented at random at various locations throughout the city when residents are observed adhering to the protocols, which is pretty much what we've talked about in the past. I don't know what those flash awards could be. I don't know, Mayor. Maybe we make up challenge points like the military uses.
I would like that. The more we can model this, like the military, I think the more people might want to talk about it. It's nice to hear people give me a text or shoot me a call saying, hey, does your task force know about this, or does your task force know about that? So the word is getting out about the task force. I've been randomly about every other day, maybe every third, I find something good about COVID and I post it. And when I did that before, it was interesting how many negative comments that I got from my Republican friends about, do you really think it's that bad? And then a lot of positive, of course. I'm seeing less with those too. It's almost like they're in the minority. So that's interesting. But I think, Frank, that's a good idea about, or Chuck, about implementing some of what Frank said.
I just don't want to flash award. The mask could certainly be a flash award. The $5 gift card could be a flash award. Challenge coins aren't cheap if you have a decent one made up, and I don't know what the lead time is on those. I suspect it's not overnight, unless you get something that is already if you wanted to personalize it for Canfield, it would be a long lead item. If you were willing to accept a standard design, we might be able to get something quicker. But typically, if you don't buy them in quantity, they're $8 or $10 a piece. They're not inexpensive. But I'll look into that. I'll take that on.
Okay. I had a question for you, Joe, on the mask. I've got a lot of compliments on the ones that I've got. I've been giving some out that I bought. People like them. They're comfortable. They look sharp. Is there any feedback from Julie on if they're going to try to market the mask, or is it people have to come to them?
That's kind of where it's at right now. I mean, I talked to her the other day, and she ordered another 200.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think they're open for whatever, but their, quote, fundraising time period is now over as far as school goes. But I think she's open to whatever we want to do moving forward. So.
Well,
go ahead.
What was the per unit cost on those, Joe? I can't remember.
It was $10.
$10.
I think 10, and the adult ones maybe were 8.
Oh, okay. All right.
Something that I wanted to do is stand in front of Giant Eagle or stand at a wrestling match or a basketball game or something and just sell them directly to Canfield people as they're coming in, and give a 30-second blurb on how we're doing as far as against COVID and how they need to buy a mask, but also give the spirit talk, and it goes to the PTA. I think we need that type of approach with the mask, because are people going to say no to supporting the schools? It's only $10, but the message is we have to get all of Canfield masking with this Cardinal mask. Because that's momentum. If we're walking through Ace Hardware and we see 7 people with Cardinal mask on, we know visually we're having an impact. Same with Giant Eagle. Same with Canfield home games. I don't know what the limitations are, Joe, with attendance. How are we doing basketball and that sort of thing?
We have 60 people on our side and 60 on the other. It is slim pickings. We're
okay. All right.
Following the guidelines too. Basically, it's just parents. That's all we're letting in.
Would there be any problem with me coming to the Poland game Tuesday and selling masks?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right.
I really don't.
And I would just have to get the extra from. Could you check to see if Julie has any?
Let me see what she has on hand.
I could sign out. I got 10, but I've already given out a lot of them, and I got some stocking stuffers. But I would need. I'll take as many. If she gives me 100, I'll sell 100. Yep. If she gives me 50, I'll sell 50. It may not be at all that tight, but I think they'll go that easy to alumni, not even people that don't live here. I think that the Cardinal mask is an outstanding thing because it doesn't look gaudy. It doesn't look too big.
Yep. I'll get back to you.
Okay, that'd be good. I already talked to the principal and Mr. Motivon, and he has me set for a pass. I'm on the pass list to be there because I wanted to go to that game anyway. But I would come early and try to do the mask thing and tell people what we're doing. Yep. So that's a question there. Okay.
Get on it. All right. The next item on the agenda, I believe we've read all the committee reports, or we've heard from all the committee reports. We've got some good action items coming out of those, and we'll summarize them there at the end here. I wanted Bruce to give us an idea. He and I talked a little bit earlier, but just to let everybody else know the progress on the LED sign on the green, if you would, Bruce.
Yeah, no problem. Let me ask, though, Joe, I wanted to, did the school system, do you know, that might have happened before you got there, sign up with some sort of sporting network that allows for games and, to be on a network that people watch? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you guys know this probably better than I do, but there's, I'll get a hold of Cochran, but I'm thinking something 21, this little catch name of a group that does that, a media group that does that.
Are they doing it for basketball?
I'm assuming.
Or wrestling?
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Because
don't know that.
I wonder whether we could put the 3-minute video on that.
Yeah.
So,
let me cut the mic. See what we got going on. I know we did it. I used the term live stream for lack of a better term. We did it for a couple football games as well. I know that.
Right.
But
here's the synopsis of the green, and I assume, Duff, you didn't hear back from the city manager on if there's any funds. The reason why I asked that is there's going to be expense in running electric out there. I mean,
I think the city, we can absorb that. I'm waiting for a response from the chief of police and the city manager on money available for this committee to decide how to use it. There's the CARES money's coming up. The deadline is here the end of I think it's next week. But there's other areas in our budget that I think this is to me is the priority, and we can carve something somewhere.
Right. Well, Eric Axelson, I talked to Eric today, and he spearheaded the rotary electrification of all the tree spots on the green. So he mentioned that because Wade got back to me and said the city could not do the electric themselves. They would have to get a contractor to do it, so it would be a licensed contractor. So Eric mentioned that if we wait a couple of weeks, which really we don't want to do, but if we could use one of the outlets. There's outlets already there. We could use one of those without going to any expense. I mean, you could string just an extension cord to the place on the green. Now, I think I said I sent or I emailed a picture, text a picture, Chuck, to you and to the mayor. And Joe, I just emailed one to you of these LED displays that actually fit perfectly, not exactly perfectly, but within inches of the display that is up there on the green now. So that would be perfect. We just need a carpenter to make some sort of shelf that they would sit on, use the same frame that is up there. And there's no activity, so there's no signs that are going in there now from the city. Yeah, there you go. So that essentially, two of those would go together on each side. So we could, and I'm thinking this is going to be a challenge because we want to have updated messages all the time on these displays. So we can work through the police department. We can work through, actually it's communication, so it probably should go through the mayor's committee. And essentially what drives the sign is a little PC that someone can connect to wirelessly. So it'll be a challenge for someone to constantly update this, but I'll bet you that we could get, Chuck, if you would want to do it, we could get, you have the ability to just go up every several days and put a new file onto the PC that's running this. Yeah. We might even be able to just do it through the internet. So I'll get my technicians, on this, but I think we're ready to go as soon as we can get permission, if you will, from the city, from the council.
Well, we don't need any permission. Who are we waiting for? Wade?
Well, I think the permission, I think, is, excuse me if I'm speaking out of turn, but one of the things you had mentioned to me, Bruce, is that we need to have some modification done to that frame to be able to hold these signs. And,
right.
And we need some carpentry work to be, and you told me that somebody in the city offered, was it Joe?
Yeah. Duff, I talked to John Rapp, and he said that he has the right carpentry tools at his home. And he kind of indicated that he would be willing to do it, but just for etiquette, I think we have to go through the city manager on this, or tell him what we're doing. If he minds, if we ask John to do this over the holiday.
I say we got to talk to John tomorrow and inform Wade. You know, he should have been here tonight at this thing. He's not here. We got to move forward. We can't delay. And that's my thoughts on it. If you want me to tell him, I will. But if John can get started on this, we can have Public Works to do the grunt work, the carpentry work, whether it's him at home or the talent that we got. We got some good talent up there in Public Works to get this going. Because wouldn't that be nice to start get? Is it possible, Bruce, we could do this next week? There could be on those signs.
Right. You know, and I wouldn't be. If Joe wouldn't mind, we could actually mirror the message on the high school sign, if they would want to, because what we're going to be putting up is things like masked up, you know, cases, hospital bed. That's something we probably all should think about, and the communications committee should think about. What are the types of messages? Because remember, they're only going to be up for 15 seconds.
Right. Yeah.
And you need probably 6 of them, because somebody going through town is only going to see 2 of them, and every few days you only want a few of them to change. You would always want some of them to be up, like, you know, masked up Canfield. That could be, you know, every 3rd or 4th message. But then the other things like the stats, the statistics, and anything that we got from the governor that you would want to put up there, you know, or anything from any of the committees to say, to make a message. If we're going to have a special meeting or...
The other thing, just so I don't forget to say, speaking of the governor, is I sent an email down there today. I'm asking him to come to one of our meetings, whether it's remotely or whatever. I'm trying to work in some funds. I'm trying to work in, I don't know what other communities are doing, other mayors, but I can't think that they're as well moving forward as we are this quick. I don't know, but I could be wrong. But anyway, a PSA message from him at a minimum might be nice to show locally, and have him mention Canfield. Also the Lieutenant Governor, Houston. So those are out there. Those requests are already out there. I copied on you, Chuck. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, I saw it.
Good idea.
Yeah. So we'll see
Right.
if we can get them to attend a meeting, or to then ask them for a PSA after we attend the meeting.
Yeah.
But that's all sounds all good, Bruce.
Hey, Bruce. Bruce,
Yeah.
What's the current draw on those LED signs? Is it high?
No, it's. I told Eric that we would need like 20 amps. So, you know, it's a single 20 amp circuit.
How many trees does he have running off each outlet on the green?
You know, I don't know, but I could probably find that out.
Yeah, it would seem to me that why do, if it's a, you know, I can't believe the current's that high that we couldn't just piggyback off one of the outlets that a tree's running off of, you know?
Right. I could even call, we have contacts at Ohio Edison. I wonder whether they would drop a temporary, because, you know, this is a special nonprofit and health-related issue. Maybe they would drop a special service off one of their poles right there.
Yeah. Do you have contacts there?
Yeah, we have one that is in the city, right, Mayor? Who's the fellow from First Energy? Yeah.
Yeah, Wade. He's spoken to council before. Wade would have his number.
Yeah, I've got it. I think in my phone.
He's that tall.
Yeah.
He's Air Force Master Chief Master Sergeant.
We'll have to get on him, Chuck.
Yeah, no, he's a good guy. He was on active duty at the air base. Well, not active duty. He was assigned out at the air base for a long time. I knew him when I was commanding the arsenal. So he's a good guy. It's been so long since I've seen him, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, but he's a good guy. To him? Chuck, would you want to talk to him, or is it better to Bruce to talk to him?
I don't know if I can dig his name out. It'll come to me eventually, but I probably have his card laying around here somewhere. If you can come up with his name, Bruce, I'll talk to him.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Any other discussion on the signs? So we're gonna speak with John tomorrow, Mayor, about getting those started on the brackets we need to hold these new signs. Do we need any design work to give them, or is it pretty much straightforward, Bruce? The way you described it to me, it's pretty straightforward. So.
Well, if you look at those pictures that we all have now, I mean, these have to be just, you know, those are 3 lines. We can probably fit 4 lines, but you don't want to have more than that. And you can run across, but we have to think of what we're going to put up there.
I'm sorry, you misunderstood Mike. I was talking about physically mounting the signs to the frame. Do we need some design work to give John Rapp what he needs to cobble together?
I would think that I can
sketch something.
Just take the units to him. He doesn't need all of them. I could take 2 of the units to him because the 2 sides will be exactly the same.
And he can measure. Okay. All right. But you're right. It'd be nice to have them there and working on January 1st.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. Any more discussion on the signs, guys? We're 50 minutes into the meeting. I'd like to try to wrap up here shortly. Okay, so agreements and commitments. The dashboard, I'm going to try to put together for that a front end of a website, like an opening page of a website that describes those elements of the dashboard that Joe talked about. I'll also do some big.
Hey, Chuck?
Yeah.
Do you, just for the dashboard, Ryan TCAC does a county dashboard that I don't know if you're getting, or I have someone that I got recently, but he might be worth talking to if you want.
Well, I'll look at his dashboard and see if it's pretty straightforward, which I think it is. I probably don't need to talk to him, but if there's some unique element to it that I need some clarification on. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to bring that up because he said he has a rough time making these meetings, but if he said it once, he said it 5 times. Tell me what you need, and I'll give it to you. He likes his task force. Okay.
Well, as long as he can, data, like Joe and I said, and we all agree, data drives this thing. As long as he can keep providing us good data, I think we're getting out of him what we need. So.
Okay.
All right. So I'll try to get that front end put together by the end of the weekend. That front page of the website. I'm going to look into the challenge coins. I think that's going to be a little too pricey, but I'll look into it. PSAs, we're going to start pushing those out to social media right now. We've got the one with the Renee and Chief, and we can start putting that on the city website, Mayor. We can put it on the city Facebook page. Does Josh do that? Who does that?
Josh does the police department. Wade usually does the city one. I do my own one, and then we have the website. Wade does the website. So those 4.
So you'll get it pushed out to the appropriate Facebook pages and websites from the city side. I
will.
And Joe, you can provide a link now to that one PSA on the school site. Is that true or not? Is that a true statement? I gave you the link. I gave you the link to the YouTube page.
Yeah, we can just.
That's all you need to do is link that.
We'll just work right off of that. I'll have Renee put that on. She helps me. Well, I'll do it because she's too bashful. I'll do it for her.
Well, I didn't hear that one. What did you say?
She's too bashful with her. But you got to remember, I got the power to put them on too. So I'll.
Always
Jeffrey Wilhelm. Is that who?
That's not who I remember.
Okay. I didn't.
You can call him, and I'll call the guy I know, and between the 2 of them.
Okay.
But you're going to also check with Axelson to see if we can drive off an existing outlet based on the power requirements of the sign. So.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, if we can do that rather than get a drop from Ohio Edison, I think that would be the quickest thing, obviously.
Okay. Yes.
All right. Mayor, you're going to call the TV stations to see if they have any free time coming up for us to participate, even on the weekday. You can't do it during the week, can you, Mayor?
I could do it at 5 in the morning. I go in real early for work, but I could go in at 5, and I've done that before to the TV stations. They like that because then you can get on, and then they run it. So if you're willing, are you willing to go that early?
As long as I don't have to do it every day, I don't mind doing it.
Okay. See, the Navy, we don't sleep. I don't know if the Army, you guys might be,
All right.
Might be a little early for you.
So you're going to check with them, whether it's a Saturday or an early morning weekend.
Yeah. I'll get back to you before I commit anything, because I'd like to do what we did before, kind of.
Yeah. Or something similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else did I miss as far as an action coming out of this?
Bruce, you're going to contact John Rapp about the size of what you need done for the size of your LED on the green?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll check.
I'm going to try to take in 2 panels to the council chambers. So, because I think we should tell the rest of the councilmen what we're doing. So, they see, and that there's not going to be any cost to the city other than if we have to pay John Rapp or eventually get it hooked up electricity-wise.
Yeah. Okay.
Sounds good.
Joe, did I miss anything?
Nope. Julie got back to me, Mayor. She does not have enough to give to you on hand to sell.
Okay.
So she apologized.
I'll just wear it, and
there you go.
You said she's got a couple hundred more coming.
January 21st is what she calls her second batch. January.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Well, you could tell her that I'll be a walking billboard for Tuesday, and I'll take orders.
There you
from
go.
People.
All right, roger that.
All right. Bruce, did I miss anything that you've heard?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Mayor?
No, I'm just looking at my notes here, and I think the one thing I wanted to say, yes, I wrote it down here. I had a ribbon cutting last week, Optimal Health and Wellness. If you're facing Belleria Canfield on Hilltop Plaza, it's right around the corner. This nurse practitioner opened up her own practice. She does two different COVID testings. One she can get us in 15 minutes. She already has corporate clients, so you can send somebody up there to get checked. They also do return to work things. So that's the latest I know in Canfield. I don't know where else. I know they do COVID testing up at the fairgrounds, but this is a very new thing. It just she had the ribbon cutting last week, but they've been working. So a lot of other options that she has as far as health. They also do IV therapy for people that are recovering from COVID, and maybe they're a long hauler, and they can make them feel better. So that will include at the right time when we're rolling out some things about, and that's supporting a Canfield business. Right?
She was the one at the fire station last week, right?
Yes. Oh, that's right. I forgot you guys already. She did a PSA too. So, yeah, that was her, the one in the green dress.
Yep, very good. Well, gentlemen, that's 50 minutes of time well spent, I think. I want to thank you for your time. I've recorded this meeting, so I'll send you guys a link to it in case you want to refresh your memory about any commitments we may have made. And I'll try to get just a bullet listing written report out to you in the next day or so.
One last comment for me. If everybody could think of a 10-word message that they would want to put on the screen once it goes up, that will be very helpful. So,
yeah, we should
8 to 10 words.
Yeah, we should have ourselves a whole litany of those so we can just mix them up and plug them in. Yeah.
Exactly.
10 words. Is kind of what you
there was a thing, Bruce. You might know how to do this. When for the Canfield levy, we had. I was in communications there. We had Facebook messages, and we were able to set that up. And it was always, we had 5 points we were trying to drive home with the Canfield community to pass the levy. And we were setting it up where they would change 3 times a day automatically. Mm-hmm. It was hands off. I don't know how, I didn't do it, but I was part of putting that out there. And it just rotated around. And I don't know if your signs could do that, but we might want to also consider doing that for social media. And we would have 3 a day, and we would change them, and then we'd do another 3, and then we'd do another 3, and then we'd do another 3. I think we had 12 things of saying the same thing, different ways of the points, like all-day kindergarten and do away to pay to play, and
right. Well, this is what I'm saying, is that we're going to have to come up with this, because we don't want to have it be stagnant. Even though you get a dozen messages, you don't want the same dozen up there week after week after week. So
right, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. That's something that communications will work on, and everybody can input on that.
Yeah, we'll feed communications any 10-word or less phrases that we come up with, Bruce. Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, gentlemen. It's been
guys.
a pleasure.
Thank
please
you.
have a Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Stay healthy, stay safe, and next meeting. We got to talk about a next meeting. We got to lock that in.
Well, we got next Friday would be New Year's Day.
New Year's Eve or New Year's Day?
Well, if we went on a Thursday, do we want to take next week off, or do we want to meet around this time?
Well, I'd sure like to know what we get going on the signs and the brackets. Well, we don't have to do it in a meeting as long as everybody communicates through email. I'd sure like to get an update next week on what RAP is doing for us, if Bruce gets through to the electric guy that he knows, or if that guy's not helpful, I'll dig out the name of the guy I know. Or if Axelson says we can just drive off an existing outlet. I still think that's the easiest if we can. So, yeah, that and some confirmation from you, Mayor, that the link to the 3-minute PSA is up on the different websites and Facebook pages. Just update us through written communication, and we could probably forego an actual face-to-face meeting like this next week.
All right, I will update the items that I have on my list to do to all of you.
As will.
And we'll go from there, and then maybe over electronic mail we can set up 1-2 weeks down the road.
If it appears we've hit any significant snags that requires us to get together, I'll call a ad hoc meeting real quick, and we'll hammer it out. Yeah, it doesn't have to be. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Beat Navy.
Merry Christmas. Go Navy. I beat you to it, Chuck.
Yeah.